All right, welcome back to Salt City Counseling, everybody. Gonna try this video again. One of the things about video production, man, you gotta get my audio. I recorded this video. I was feeling really good about the outcome. Freaking microphone wasn't working for some reason. The audio was awful. So, let's try again. If you're new here, my name is Scott Carter. I'm a licensed therapist here in the beautiful state of Utah. I've decided to do some relationship videos. I think people really crave, desire, want really close romantic relationships. They want love. They want really loving relationships. I don't see young people achieving those really, really close, tight knit, loving relationships. If you've never been in one of those, man, you are seriously, seriously missing out. It is awesome. It's amazing. And frankly, I don't date anymore. I don't try to date. I haven't for a while because I feel like these loving, close bond relationships, they're just kind of going on the way of the dodo, and just deteriorating into that fear and the control, like I talked about in my last relationship video. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 things that people do that a lot of them don't really realize that they're doing necessarily. They're not really putting a lot of thought into it. I might touch on a little bit what you need to do instead. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going to definitely do some future videos on do this, not that, on what to do instead. But these are 5 behaviors that I see people doing that cause their relationship to be go down the crapper, man. And so what you need to think of your relationship as, and I heard this the other day, and it's completely true. When you're in a romantic relationship, you either grow together or you grow apart. There's no other option. There's no middle. You don't set it and forget it. It doesn't just stay where it's at. And truth be told, if you're not deliberate about growing together, you will grow apart. And for example, too, it's I've seen married couples where they raise kids together, and then the last kid grows up and they don't know how to relate to each other anymore. Their relationship grew apart because they put the entirety of their identity into parenting, and their relationship just atrophied as a result. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 5 things that a lot of people do. These are the 5 main behaviors I see people do that cause their relationship to grow apart, a resentment to build in that relationship, and yeah, these are 5 guaranteed ways to ruin your romantic relationship. I did a wellness vlog video recently about how to guarantee your own misery. Try to control things that you can't control. And it was funny because I actually presented at a private school this morning to some high schoolers. Fun kids, really really great fun group of kids. I had a blast. I love teens, man. I love kiddos. They're just fun. Their energy and their angst and their snottiness. It's just fun for me. I just enjoy it. Maybe I'm weird that way. I don't know, but I asked these kids, right? I'm like, raise your hand if you want guaranteed misery. Guaranteed. I'm gonna give you a guaranteed way to be miserable, right? And raise your hand, and of course they're all looking at me like, yeah. Of course nobody wants that, right? And sorry, the cat is distracting me. Anyways, so these are 5 things that people are doing that ruin their relationships. And they always will. If you do these things, your relationships will always you'll always grow apart. You'll always have resentment, and you'll always grow apart. Guaranteed. And I talked about radical acceptance last time. In my last video, my last relationship video, you must radically accept that these things ruin relationships. And a lot of people will remain shackled and married to these behaviors, and it will continue to ruin their relationships, which is fine. It's their life, right? People are entitled to be as wrong as they want to be. Okay, before I get into this list, let me get some quick housekeeping out of the way. If you're new here, hope you will subscribe. Help me grow my channel. Share, comment, notification. You know what to do. Help me out a lot. If you have a viewer question, you can put a question in the comment section below. I often get to those. I do my best. I love viewer questions. They're really good. They really help me make good content, I feel like. So you can also send me an email, scottc@saltcitycounseling.com. I don't respond to attacks at all, ever. They obviously come. People are always looking for the next designated villain online. But there's so many good people out there. Anyways, so if you really like my content, you can hit the tip jar, man. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, every little bit helps. Okay, let's get into this list. Let me knock this out for you, okay? In no particular order or ranking of importance, okay? Let's get this out of the way. Number one, keeping score, okay? Holding on to things to be weaponized later. And so this is one of those behaviors that it's like, this is that like we are an adversarial relationship. It's a good way to put it, actually. I'm going to use that in the future. The adversarial relationship is where it's like trying to control each other. Those relationships are always a disaster. When you're in that adversarial relationship, people keep score. Like, oh, they perceive like they always have to keep an upper hand, right? And so it's like, oh, you did that thing, and I'm gonna pocket that away to be used against you later. That never works. Like if your goal is like a loving, close bond with your partner, that behavior will always work against you, guaranteed, 100% of the time. I've even seen this work kind of in a different way, the keeping score. If people will do something nice for their partner and then they'll weaponize it later. Like, what are you gonna do for me now? I see parents do this too. I've even had people tell me they don't want their parent doing anything for them because they know their parents are just gonna weaponize it and use it against them later. And that is guaranteed way to ruin your relationship and create resentment. Again, resentment, slow, level, low, burning hate. Okay? Number two, okay, making a big deal out of the little things and not letting them go. And it's obviously really, really common for there to be like big to-dos, big explosions, big angry explosions over things like loading the dishwasher wrong, right? And really, I've been saying this for years, man, in a personal level and a professional one. Like, why is your relationship worth harming? Is it worth damaging your relationship over this? You may want to ask yourself that. Is it worth damaging my relationship over? I've heard people say too, like the partner bought the wrong kind of milk, right? I like 2% and they bought 1%, and it's like they're supposed to know what kind of milk I like. And that's just going to work against you. That's going to drive you apart. That's going to create resentment. Another example I heard was like, my partner, my husband, it was the lady that wrote an article about it. He's supposed to know that I prefer 90% lean, and he got 85% lean beef. Okay, making a big to do out of this stuff, making a big deal out of them, and not letting them go, and you're just supposed to know. The resentment will build. Okay, guaranteed way to drive you apart. Number three, always find and focus on the mistakes. Now, again, I feel like we're just sort of in that mode in 2021, and we have to be disciplined. We have to be like deliberately doing something else. But what I find, right, is that people will take a highlighter almost and go through the day. You did this wrong, you did that wrong, you made this mistake, you said that thing, you said this thing, and just put a highlighter on it, and I hate you for this reason, I'm angry at you for that reason. All that does is drive you apart. All that does is drive you apart. And I've talked about this in other videos. I talked about this in a parenting video. Like, if you had a job and you had a boss, always focused on the negative. Always just berated you over all the mistakes that you made. Always just trying to punish you for the things that you did wrong, right? It's like, oh, you were 10 minutes late from your lunch break? Well, no more lunch breaks for you, right? And then you're punished indefinitely for some of the stuff that you do, right? And if you had a job like that, you would be like, peace out, man. I'm out of here. Take this job and shove it, right? But I see relationships that are that way. I see parents that work that way. And they wonder why, right? Gee, it's a big mystery, And I get that they're not conscientious about this. They're not thinking about this deliberately, like, what is this doing to my partner? What is this doing to the people that are supposedly my loved ones? Okay? If you want to drive your relationship apart, then definitely always focus and find the mistakes. Okay? Number 4, I talked about this in the last one, but it's being clingy and controlling. Okay? And I see this a lot. The clingy, controlling relationship. What are you doing? Who are you with? Where are you going? Who are you texting? What did you spend money on? What do you mean you want alone time? What bad thing are you up to? And doing that clingy thing, that controlling thing all the time, that repels positive relationships and healthy partners away like magic. If you want to especially if you want to be in a relationship who is personally mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, someone who has confidence and who's happy and positive, you're guaranteed to drive them away with cleanliness and controllingness, okay? And again, it comes from a fear-based thing. Okay, number 5, hypocritically holding double standards. And so what I kind of see is that, like, people want to be treated like royalty when they act like a tyrant in their relationship. And it's like there's kind of a little bit of a narcissistic entitlement there, frankly, of I deserve to be treated well even though I'm a jerk, even though I'm not. That entitlement is like, that creates so much resentment. It drives people apart. And maybe I'll tell a really quick story just as a little bit of an example. It's similar. Years ago, I was working with this kid in a treatment center. And I worked with him for months, like 7, 8, 9 months or something like that. I thought I'd had a really good relationship, really good rapport with him. I thought we got along well. And one day in my group, I was doing group therapy on his unit, and he was being rude and disrespectful. And I said, "Hey, I need you to be respectful, please." And his response was, "I'll give respect when people give it to me first." And I go from I go from golden retriever to pit bull, like I can do it like that. And that was one of those moments where I went from golden retriever to pit bull, and I said, "I've been giving you respect for months, and this is how you're acting." And I said, number 2, and this is the point I'm trying to get at, is what makes you think people want your respect bad enough to put up with your crappy attitude? Get out. I threw him out. Get out of my group. Get out. Leave. I threw him out. And he was upset, but we worked it out in the long run. But it is almost like a similar thing where I see people approach relationships or approach other people like, "I'll give respect when I get it," or "I'll be kind when I get kindness first." I will be caring when people care about me first. I'll listen when people listen to me first. And if you do that, like, me first, me, selfish attitude, yeah, I mean, your relationships they're not going to be good ones. They're just not. I mean, again, radical acceptance can be really, really positive and helpful here. Like, that's just the truth. Like, those things will drive your relationships apart, okay? And ruin them. These are the facts. But future videos, I'm going to talk about what to do instead, okay? And I'll just give you a little bit of a teaser. So make sure that if you haven't subscribed, I hope you will. But the teaser is this. If you want amazing relationships and amazing partners, you have to be an amazing partner. And people might be thinking like, well, how do I do that? Well, stay tuned. We'll do some videos on it. Thanks for watching. I got to get back to the office. See you in the next one.